stories. I know that the system, we heard the system let these two down, but what do you think? What is the first step? What do we have to do to get the system rectified? Get this failing system plugged back up and get these people to the police mocking the victim, you know, at the scene, or, you know, that leaving the victim there for more abuse to occur, or the children who are in the situation. What do we do to educate the police and the people who are in law enforcement? I mean, really are not enforcing the law, so what do we do?
What really impacts police officers when they're in the training process more than anything is to hear stories like this from victims. I think they begin to take a different view. But what happens with people who work in the system year after year, with our judges, with our law enforcement, even with the district attorneys who prosecute, they experience what we call vicarious trauma. In other words, they relive these cases that they see day after day. And police officers really have a lot of trauma they have to deal with. And we don't do a very good job of supporting our police officers with, you know, help to resolve a lot of the conflict that they experience inside when they see homicides and that sort of thing. So education is very important. Hearing stories from victims like this are very important. These issues need to be made very real. Forums like this, where we have judges like we're going to have come in and hear from people with real stories and hear about the things that have happened to them, are ways that we can make these real again. We have some very compassionate law enforcement officers. We have some who really don't care, and I'm just, you know, that's just a microcosm of the world. I mean, that's what we're going to have no matter what. But we do have some officers that really do care. And good leadership, when we look at the ways the cases get handled, the philosophy about the way domestic violence is handled comes from the top down, no matter how we cut it. If we have a sheriff and a police chief who believe this is an important issue that needs to be dealt with well, and we need our officers to be well trained, that happens. If it's not the flavor of the week, then it probably won't. So the public can put pressure on these people. They are, well, the police chief's not elected, the mayor is. We can put pressure. And I believe our responsibility as citizens is to put pressure on our leadership in our community to say, hey, this is important that you pay attention to this. And each and every one of you can do that. I know I've watched Bobbi get really involved with this because I've been working with her now for, what, 3 or 4 years. And being compassionate, it's important to work within the system. You can't change things from outside. You got to keep the lines of communication open with those people. You have to walk a thin line. You say too much, you alienate them, and they won't listen to anything else you say. But you can say a lot of things, and you can bring stories like this that are not, they don't attack anybody or make anybody feel like, hey, I'm pointing a finger at you, but you still get the story, and it raises awareness about how important those decisions are in the courtroom, how important it is for a police officer to show up, how important it is to write an accurate report, not write things that are not accurate, and that happens. That happens. I'm here to tell you that it does. But those kinds of things can make a difference. The biggest difference you can make, or anybody can make, is to every chance you get, put pressure on our community leaders, on our mayors, our city and county mayors, on our city councilmen and women, our county commission members. Put the pressure on them. Say, we want this problem resolved, and you're in a position to help do that. We want something done. We don't want to be number 5 in the nation for domestic homicides. You need to fix this.
Do you think if, as a community, we push the legislature to prioritize crime as far as putting less emphasis on nonviolent crime and more emphasis on violent crime, well, as far as tax dollars going towards those bills?
Absolutely. We're incarcerating nonviolent criminals right and left. And the violent ones are walking the streets. We need to fix that. That's a problem.